Let's do it.
You're listening to a wee moan podcast with Nads and Joan.
Welcome back to a wee moan podcast with Nads and Joan, your guide to all things celebrity news, pop culture, and entertainment. Good evening, Nadia. It is 7 o'clock or 7:30 on a lovely summer night in Ballarat.
Yes. Well, I mean, this is probably our first Twilight recording, so I don't know how this is going to go. We've had a hell of a couple of days. Me with sick dogs, you with like hundreds of aunties who we need to give a shout out, because I tell you what, her family is pretty much make up the majority of our listeners here at the Wee Moan podcast. So this is my official hello to
all our listeners.
To all our listeners, to all the extended family. And also, I've got to say, I went to the most quaint, beautiful, idyllic knitting circle. And I just want to say a big shout out to Helen, who Auntie Helen, who invited, I got invited through Joan's Auntie Helen. It was just so gorgeous. It was just her house. You walk in and it's like it's a house that gives you a hug as you walk in. I mean, you wanted to immediately start filming there. It is a film set. It's stunning. It's stunning. Antiques and handmade goods, and like you could just feel everything had meaning and purpose and love injected into that house. They had the Christmas tree there. As we were knitting, someone was playing Christmas carols on the piano. I mean,
I know.
You cannot make this up, guys. Like, it was just out of control. I'm like, is this real?
So maybe it was a little bit like being in Little Women. Like if you step back home and you were
it
in
really
Little
felt
Women.
like I was in a film. Yeah.
And you were knitting.
And I was knitting. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, wonderful. How are you, Joan?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I am. I'm good. I'm excited to hear what we are going to talk about today, Nadia. What are we getting into?
Yeah, well, we've got quite a big show. First up, we're going to be talking about our gorgeous Australian export, Rebel Wilson, who's got herself into quite a bit of controversy recently, and actually
not for the first time.
No, and we're going to be going through that. She's got quite a roster of controversy
she ruffles feathers wherever she goes.
Spanning back to about 2015. So we're going to be covering that. You're going to be talking about Bonnie Blue. And if anyone doesn't know Bonnie Blue, well, God, you will certainly know a lot about her by the end of this episode, let me tell you. She does not leave much to the imagination. No. We're also going to be talking about Netflix acquiring Warner Brothers, and we might even give you a couple of impressions on some TV shows that we've been recently watching, The Beast in Me, and of course, what is a Wee Moan podcast without mentioning Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex.
Yes,
her Christmas special. She's got to get a mention.
It has landed.
The eagle has landed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, huge show. So where do we start, Joan?
Let's start with Rebel. So Rebel, as we know, our Australian export, who's exactly the same age as us, Nadia. She was born in 1980, one of four children. Yep, her the eldest of four children. Her parents she grew up quite poor. They used to run dog shows. So she went around from dog show to dog show to dog show, selling merchandise, things like that, just trying to make money. Was a very, very hard studying student who I think was always trying to make up for what she said. She was incredibly shy forever. And should I keep going about just a little bit of her early life?
Yeah, give us the background.
Did
you hear all this about her through the book Rebel Rising, or
parts of the book and podcasts that she's been interviewed on, where she's always quite like for someone who's a comedian, she's never funny. Just saying it. Like there's not much hilarity or jokes being thrown around. She's very dry.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, very dry. So she grows up with eldest of four in Sydney. She does go to quite a prestigious school, I think, or maybe she doesn't go to a prestigious school, but she does get a scholarship to a really good law school. She At one point because of something that happens to her in her final year of high school, she's involved in some legal matter where she has to give evidence in court, and she does such a good job of this that they give her some scholarship to go and live and work in South Africa for a year, which she goes and does. And of course, it's just a completely different place to what Sydney is. You know, like suddenly you've got guns on the street and you're living in gated communities, and people it's dangerous. Like it's got the highest death rate and gun murder rate in the world. So there she's in, and what happens is she gets malaria. When you get malaria, you have intense dreams, and she has a dream that she wins a logie. And from that point, she leaves her course and she goes, that's it. I'm going back to Australia. Yeah, I'm going back to Australia and I'm going to pursue my acting career, which she does. And not long after that, she ends up being the girlfriend in Pizza. Remember the SBS show?
That does ring a bell.
Yeah, so Pizza was like a funny, like, you know, just like wogs of Melbourne, but it would have been Sydney.
Yeah.
And she was one of the wog girlfriends who he was sort of embarrassed of going out with, which, you know, and she played that role brilliantly. So she plays that, then she ends up she actually writes a screenplay, and it gets picked up immediately, and they give her $90,000 straight up, the first thing she's ever written, to make it. And then Nicole Kidman, personally, so like, yeah, like I'm not denying she has worked hard and is intelligent, all that kind of stuff. Nicole Kidman sort of sees her, and that's how she sort of ends up in America.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Yeah,
So
it sounds like an extraordinary journey to getting into Hollywood, which is quite. I mean, to make it in Hollywood is a huge
one in a billion.
It's really pretty hard. So
yeah,
I mean, she must have had a leg up. It sounds like she had a leg up here and there. I mean, like, where does the lawyer, like, was she a lawyer? Is she a lawyer?
So she, I think she does finish her law degree at the same time as doing an acting course, but like a fairly prestigious one. She does both. It takes her a very long time. She does, I think, get both, but she's never actually worked as a lawyer, because then her acting career took off, and her writing and comedic work. She realizes that she should be a comedian, and that's all tied in with the fact that she feels like she is unattractive and overweight. She's a virgin until she's 35 years old. There you go.
Yeah, that came out in the book. Yeah,
which she's never mentioned to anyone before. Fair enough. I mean, you don't want to. Yeah. I mean, you want to brag about that all the time too.
Yeah,
and also her father was a complete prick. He was pretty much. He's a prick. He was violent and awful to her mum. So she had a bit of a rough trot.
Yeah.
But now springing forward, so then of course she becomes, she is what she is. She's one of the highest paid actresses and writers of films, and she's made it right. Although she still wants that golden. What did I say? What did she have the dream about?
Did she get the logie?
Sorry, not the logie. What the logie's the Australian?
Oh, the Oscar, an Oscar.
She wants the Oscar. She probably has a logie.
Was that what she dreamt? She dreamt about the Oscar.
She dreamt about the Oscar, and she still wants that Oscar. So I don't think
she's still young. Yeah. She's still young. She's still got a bit of time left.
So her first lawsuit is that she takes out against Sacha Baron Cohen when she is in a film with him, the Grizzly
hang
Brothers.
On.
Okay,
hang on to your horses. So that comes out. That's a little bit later. We need to rewind back to 2015. Yes. When so the Australian publisher Bauer Media, who is responsible for OK Magazine and Woman's Day, implied that Rebel Wilson lied about her age, her real name, and her upbringing to boost her Hollywood career. Actually, when she goes on those, they kind of was saying that when you go on those kind of like hosted shows like the Letterman Show and all that sort of stuff, she was putting on a character. And like she was like, like selling herself as a character. and not being herself. And that's what was her trying to maneuver herself into the Hollywood career. But they're basically calling her out and saying that she was inauthentic and, that she sort of that she was, I mean, a bit of a...
Like pretending to be what? Is she pretending to be sort of just a silly sort of person, or was she pretending?
Yeah, well, I mean, but they said that she lied about her age, her real name, and her upbringing. So they just will call her out as a liar, making her seem like she was, not a real person.
Yes.
So Rebel sued them. She claimed emotional distress and claimed she missed out on leading roles such as Kung Fu Panda 3, and apparently quite a few people backed out of deals, and there was some bit of background. I think your reputation in Hollywood is everything. And once there's kind of whispers about you being, this, that, and the third, people aren't going to back you. These Hollywood films are, millions and billions of dollars worth of investment. If there's any kind of negative press about you, they don't want to know about you. So, I do understand that. And at the time, she did win. Between 2017 and 18, she carried out the lawsuit and she won. She won $4.57 million in damages. The only problem, so she won that, which was quite a landmark, win at the time, because it's really hard to win defamation cases and prove that. And in case, and just to prove that, a year or two later, the appeals court actually overturned that win. And the courts decided she didn't have significant loss of income and she had to give back almost all of her original winnings. So she only sort of walked away from that with about, maybe, I don't know, 800,000 or something like that. I mean, so the whole thing was a bit of a farce by the end of it. But, so that was the first peg in the incident in her controversial kind of background when it comes to all the legal stuff. Because, I mean, she seems to be embroiled in legal kind of litigation a lot of her career.
A lot.
Yeah. So moving forward, she releases a book, Rebel Rising, in April 2024, which wasn't that long ago.
No, not.
And basically there were allegations of inappropriate behavior by Sacha Baron Cohen. I should be putting some things up on the...
The first thing I hear about that is just like, well, of course he's being inappropriate. I mean, it's Sacha Baron Cohen, and he plays... He wears the mankini and he's pretending to be someone from Kazakhstan. And the whole thing is to be inappropriate. Look at that picture there where he's playing some sort of... Well, it's the brother Grimsby, and I'm sure they're suggesting that they're in some weird sexual relationship. Like, the whole thing is inappropriate and funny. Look, like, I find it funny, but
there's going to be a line there, and it's going to be grey, lots of grey areas there. But I do believe apparently there was a mattress in the room, and between scenes he was unscriptedly, taking his pants off in front of her and asking her if she could put her finger in his ass and stuff like that.
That's exactly what I've got written down. If she was asking her if she could stick her finger up his bum.
But, I probably would have pissed myself laughing. Like, you idiot. Of course I wouldn't. But maybe depends on the tone. It depends on how creepy it is. Are there other people in the room? Is it weird? Like, it depends on so many different things.
Yeah.
In Sacha Baron Cohen's defense, he says she just said that to sell books. She needed some kind of, controversy, salacious gossip about another celebrity to sell the book, which is, a good counter there. Yeah. And he says there's, it's all videoed. And look, she didn't sue him. So
And I feel like
anyway.
Sacha Baron Cohen's asked pretty much every single person to stick their finger up his bum. Like he does that when he's interviewing people on the red carpet. You know, like he'd go up to someone and be like, "Hello, do you mind pulling my G-string out of my bum?" Like that would be a completely normal thing for him to do.
Yeah. Look, I'd just laugh, you know, I'd just be part of the gag. But I mean, like I said, it depends on tone. Was he serious? Is he playing himself as he was doing it and just whispering in her ear? That would be like gross.
That's gross.
It would depend. There's so many nuance there. So you really can't like say either way. The other controversy in the book was that you know, apparently Adele, the singer, doesn't like her, Rebel.
Right. Okay, interesting.
Why?
Because they've both been fat and lost weight.
Well, apparently Adele was like mistook for Rebel Wilson. She didn't like it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So apparently that she Rebel said that there was many occurrences on the red carpet where Adele snubbed her and things of that such nature.
Well,
anyway,
she seems to constantly have a go at people. I'll say that about her.
Yeah.
Moving on to what we're talking about today is that's the background. We're talking about her recent case, which she's just done a 60 Minutes on. A whole interview on that, where she's very dry and very boring again. Although she does make one effort of having a gag where she drives a car down a hill.
I don't think that was a gag. Remember, right at the start, I'm pretty sure that was like
it wasn't even a gag. It was
no, that wasn't a gag. That was her not being able to control that. Anyway, that was looked very scary. Anyway, Rebel Wilson, as Joan was saying, she just was on a 60-minute special outlining this new litigation that has been playing out in the Australian courts. So Rebel Wilson is the first-time director of a film called The Deb. It's a $15 million project, and there's quite a few different financiers from England, and she's producing it and directing it and also starring in it, and she's doing it here in Australia. And basically it all started when there was a swimming incident in September 2023 with the main actress, Charlotte McGuinness. Apparently they were at Bondi Beach. There was also the producer and financier Amanda Ghost there. They did some kind of scene there. Amanda had some kind of episode where she was very cold. They went back to their penthouse. Amanda then got into the bath, and then apparently, Charlotte was in the bath. They were both in the bath, and it got really awkward, and it was uncomfortable. Apparently, the next day, Charlotte McGuinness, the actress, told Rebel Wilson that the whole incident made her feel very uncomfortable. So Rebel, acting as a whistleblower, had
like a workplace issue. It's not a whistleblower.
Thought it was that's what she called it, but thought it was her
exactly
place.
over the top. Like you're not a
thought
whistleblower.
It was her place to protect the young star and write a complaint. Now, here is where the issue becomes a little bit weird. The actress then completely says, "Oh, no, I didn't mean that. It was weird and awkward. It was and blows it off immediately." Now, here's some text messages that happened around around that time.
Okay, read them to me.
Okay, so I should have read these anyway. So basically this is what Rebel saying. She instantly was like, "Oh no, zero issues at all." But she said she was happy I called it to clarify. So this is a conversation between Rebel Wilson and the producer Amanda Ghost. So they're clearing it up. The next one says, "Oh, this is the producer. Oh, thank thank fuck for that. Oh my God, that's hilarious. I nearly died. So they're kind of moving on.
Yeah.
And this is Rebel.
Rebel.
Charlotte says, all good. She just meant it was a bit of a bizarre situation. Not that she personally felt uncomfortable. Kiss.
Yeah.
Basically, then, you know, Rebel was asked about that on the 60 Minutes show, and she's like, oh, she was just trying to placate, and, you know, she was the financier, so she had to make it like all.
She had to keep things smooth.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Anyway, so then fast forward, they finish the film off. There's a lot of issues with there's quite a lot of background noise going on there, Joan.
Yeah, sorry. So I just kicked a cord.
No, that's all right. There was so basically all of a sudden the producers were stopping the film from being promoted at the Toronto Film Festival.
Yes.
And as a protest, Rebel Wilson got onto the on her social media and just called it all out. So this is where it got very messy. And they actually ended up releasing it at Toronto. So her IG post kind of worked, but she basically called it out and said that this is all happening because I tried to protect the star and from this, you know, this uncomfortable situation. And, you know, they didn't like being called out. And, you know, there was all of this other stuff going on. So basically, this is where we're at. We have now.
So what do you think?
So hang on. The defamation, Charlotte, the actress, is now in a twist of fate suing Rebel Wilson for defamation, saying, I don't want to be involved, la, 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 la. Of course, the Amanda Ghost is suing, and Rebel Wilson's in the middle of it. The producers are claiming that this is a retaliation because Rebel didn't get a writing credit. So that's the gist of it.
Yes.
And it's a bit
so
messy.
I didn't believe the first time I saw it. I just did not believe a word of it. I just went, oh my God. First of all, you're on 60 Minutes. I feel like that just blows your credibility immediately. Like I just went, I don't believe you, Rebel. And none of it really stands up. Plus, I find it, so the young girl, Charlotte, who she's defending to start with, saying that the producer has made her feel inappropriate. The young girl says she no longer wants to make that statement. And then it's sort of like, well, Rebel, hang on a minute. How come you're so comfortable just outing someone about their feelings and what's happening? But that's not fair for her. If someone's been sexually assaulted, it's not up to you to then go onto TikTok and blow it up and release it on social media. You know what I mean? Like that's rude in itself anyway. It's like, okay, if Charlotte's not behaving the way you want, Rebel, you still don't expose that on right out to billions of people. In
her defense, she didn't mention Charlotte's name in that IG post.
Okay.
She just said a person was, she didn't mention who it was. The only thing I forgot to say in my big spiel was there was they're claiming, so Amanda Ghost, the producer, is claiming that Rebel conspired to do a smear campaign with a website. Yeah, basically there was a website saying that she was a Russian oligarch, that she was like some kind of like sex trading, human trafficking, you know, like basically a hit piece website saying that she was some kind of sexual abuser. And apparently Rebel didn't make the website, but she somehow linked to it because she told her there was text messages between her and her legal aid saying, you know, like discussing it.
Well, I feel like that's a bit dodgy in itself anyway.
Yeah, there is some dodginess about it.
It's dodginess.
And the one thing that me and yourself picked up was in the 60 Minutes show, I can't remember the reporter's name. She asked Rebel, Rebel, are you a liar? And Rebel responded, absolutely. There was a long pause, and then
A
she
long
said,
po-
no, absolutely no.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not how you begin to say no. You don't say absolutely and then long pause and then no. It was very bizarre. I've never,
Yeah, no,
that
exactly what you mean.
made me a little bit like, what? Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm unsure because like what are everyone's like motivations here? Like what's everyone getting out of this?
Well, I think Rebel started it all. She started all of it. She made the workplace claims. She then gets told to sort of, keep it down. She says, yeah, okay, fair enough. And then she releases all the information about it and says, and makes it public that there's been this sort of strange scenario where people have felt sexually uncomfortable around each other. She makes that public, and the producers are like, "What? Like, come on, what the hell are you doing?" And they crack it.
Yeah, well, the fact that the main actress Charlotte is just like, no, I was fine, and maybe she said it in a way like, oh, that was a bit weird, but
yes,
whatever.
Rebel's jumped the gun and like gone and made a huge
jumped the
claim.
gun and kind of
in the same way that she jumped the gun when Sasha told her to put her finger up his ass. She jumped the gun. He was just having a little joke.
We might be. Well, and that's the thing when it comes to Sasha, I always look for patterns, and like when Blank Lively, there's a pattern. With Sasha, there's no pattern, and you can't. No one else has come out about him claiming that they made other people feel uncomfortable. So I tend to err on a bit of like give him a bit of grace in that respect.
Yeah.
Of course, we like to believe all women, but some women can be a little.
Women or men,
actually, I won't put them all in the same box. But yeah, look, it gives you food for thought. This one, it just There's just too many pieces that are just.
She just
like,
keeps getting in arguments. But leading on to another woman who makes a hell of a lot of trouble for herself.
Oh my God. I don't know if everyone's ready for this.
So anyway, this is Bonnie Blue, who really blew up only about a year or two ago, and her life's gone pretty quickly downhill. There she is there. She's a 25-year-old British girl. Play the video just for anyone to get a bit of an idea of what she likes to get up to. You bring that one up, Nadia?
Yep, you press play when you're ready.
Oh, I can do that. Where are we?
A camper van, and it's been wrapped in Bonnie Blue Bang Bus sign. I'm going to start in Scotland and travel my way down the UK and fuck as many students as possible at many universities.
You heard right.
You get it, girl.
A nationwide sex marathon with who knows how many young male uni students willing to further their education by enrolling in Bonnie's intercourse course.
I want to celebrate them getting into university, which is an amazing achievement, but also I want to drain them. I want to be covered in their fluids and I want to have sex with them.
Perhaps not everyone's cup of tea, but Bonnie seems genuinely turned
looks so
on by the
classy.
prospect.
I don't understand. My brain doesn't
She also
understand.
knows hustles like this excite her bank manager.
Oh, I'm so proud of what I do now.
Okay.
I think it is crazy, and sometimes I can't believe my life. It goes from sometimes.
Oh, thanks, Bonnie.
I could watch that all night.
Well, you've watched the documentary? There was
Yes.
Bonnie released a documentary. So then I'll tell you Bonnie's life. All right, she's 25.
Wait, tell people where they can watch the documentary because that's quite. I actually needed to have a shower after this because it was so.
The documentary's on Apple, and it's
Apple.
Yeah.
No, I don't have Apple. Can't be on Apple. It's on what is it on? Prime? I think it's on Prime.
Right, I'm looking for it. Anyway, the documentary is on there, and I suppose it's a little bit like, remember Annabelle Chung? That was in our heyday, Nadia. Apple TV, Amazon, Google Play, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Annabelle Chung, she was back in our day when we were about 20. She made a claim that she was going to have sex with 100 men. I mean, and that, wow, like yuck, but okay.
Mm.
Bonnie Blue has upped that. She has times that by 10, and she had sex with over 1,000 men in one sitting. So she's made a documentary about that, which follows her in the lead up to this world record breaking attempt, because she's like breaking a world record, and it may be in the Guinness Book of World Records. So well done, Bonnie. She smashes that. She gets it. She nails 1,000 men, and she is ready for more. She doesn't even look tired. She still looks classy and beautiful at the end of it. But I mean, although there is one part of the documentary where she remember, so they show, like, they don't show all of it. They do show some of the men having sex. They're just random men who are lined up. They check them for, STDs and how old they are.
Very young.
Well, that's her thing. That's her main thing. But she has sex with them all, and then at the end of it, she ends up really sick she's like, I had the worst flu I've ever had. And it's just like, well, I mean,
that is absolutely disgusting.
That is so disgusting. And you're surprised by that? You had the worst flu. You just fucked 1,000 men. So she
before you move on and you can gather your thoughts. We had to bear witness to that in the documentary. After she screwed all of these men, she got on the ground with all the condoms and all the wrappers, and she did a snow angel in all of the wrappers.
She did a snow angel.
Hence, I had to have a shower after watching it. It was too much for me. And I am quite happy never to have sex again after seeing all of that. It was just absolutely disgusting.
She talks regularly about men's fluids and just wanting them all over her. She talks about emptying condoms onto herself that men have used.
Yeah, no thanks.
So she's a 24-year-old girl living in Britain. She's a PR, public relations, and she decides that that's too boring. So she starts an all-fans account. She goes straight in.
OnlyFans,
OnlyFans. She's naked and having sex immediately. Apparently she looks up people on Instagram, people with a fair few followers, and texts them and says, do you want to go live on OnlyFans, which they do. She then finds that you need to have a niche market, because she's a marketing woman, as her team constantly tells you throughout the documentary.
They do. Oh my God.
And you're like, yeah, okay, stop telling me she's a marketer. We get it. She's a genius. She's an absolute genius. A genius marketer. It's like, well, okay, maybe, I don't know. And so she, as her genius marketing ability, she decides that she is going to have sex with very young men, including virgins. So anyone who's just turned 18, and she'll do that on her OnlyFans page. Throughout.
Wow.
Yeah. After the documentary, after she's had sex with 1,000 men, she actually gets banned from OnlyFans. So they actually go, no, sorry, no longer.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, they ban her, which is pretty bad for her, because then it's like, okay, so where are you gonna go now?
Can you imagine being
you can't.
Too dirty for a porn site? You've hit a new low. If you're like, how's
her mum? Like, her and her mum walking through the park on the documentary, just having a little chat.
Imagine a perfect stage mum at the side of a stage, but instead of it being a beauty
musical,
it's an absolute orgy. With the stage mum cheering you on. It's quite a fucking sight to be seen. Absolutely.
And then lo and behold, you're watching the documentary and you just kind of deal with what's happening. And then suddenly a man walks on who's in her PR team as well. And he comes on, they're like, this is Bonnie's husband. You're just like, what?
Yes. There's
hang on a minute. Nadia, I hate to tell you, they've separated.
Yeah. It's what?
Yeah. They've separated. Yeah, lo and behold. So anyway, Bonnie, the reason we're talking about Bonnie now is because Bonnie has hit the news again, because she's in Bali and she's just trying to hook up with nearly virgins, 18-year-old virgin men in Bali. Not hard to do. Okay. And the police have done a bust. They've broken down her hotel room. There's Bonnie, busted again with 18 men having a gangbang. Bonnie. But mum's by the door trying to keep everyone out.
Barge the door. She's like, leave
Leave
my
her-
body alone.
Leave her alone. Leave her alone. She's just doing her job. Just like OnlyFans, Bali. Leave her alone.
You know what my mind could not wrap my head around as I was watching that documentary? Bonnie she is actually the picture of someone quite straight-laced. Like, you look at her and she's quite
Classy looking.
well-spoken.
You said it. Yeah.
She's well-spoken. She just my brain couldn't compute like snow angeling condom wrappers and then her face and voice. Like, I'm just like, nothing makes sense. Nothing. But anyway, we're living for it. Thank you for the entertainment, Bonnie Blue. I mean,
Thank you, Bonnie. So I don't know, she's still in custody because Bali's not really up for our outrageous behaviour. As all the Aussies that head over to Bali, they're quite.
So what's she in trouble for? What's gangbanging? Is that
that's
illegal?
illegal.
Over there?
Yeah, it's illegal.
Who
Not
knew?
allowed to do that.
Anyway, well, good luck with that, Bonnie Blue. I feel like we need to just quickly discuss Netflix because Netflix acquired
what's
Warner
happening
Brothers.
there?
So
Okay.
Netflix acquired Warner Brothers. So Warner Brothers includes the film and TV studio. It's HBO Max. That's your Sopranos, your Sex and the City.
Oh, it is
your
too.
6 Feet
Your
Under.
HBO, yeah.
It's your White Lotus. It's your Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's everything. Now, how much do you think that they acquired not only the studios, all of the film, all of the TV shows, everything? How much was the deal?
$478 billion.
How much?
478 billion.
Wow.
Million.
Okay. Well, million. Okay. Well, that would be. I was just like, damn. All right. No, it was 108 billion with a B.
Okay.
Yeah, paid in cash. No, I'm kidding. So yeah, but I don't know, Joan. I don't know.
What does that even mean, Nadia? What does it even mean? I mean, 108 billion. What does that mean?
It means that there's going to be less competition in the marketplace when there's that's my point. When there's some kind of like, what's the word, conglomerate?
Yeah. Monopoly. It's monopoly on the market.
It's a monopoly. It's something.
There's no independent filmmakers.
It feels like we are primed to a world of Coles and Woolies, like all of the independents go under, and we've just kind of like, we feel like we have a choice because we could either go to Coles or Woolies, but actually they're both owned by the same people. They're actually owned by the same people if you go up. So, whatever. Anyway, that's that.
Yeah.
Well, we have a couple of minutes. Let's talk about a couple of new shows that have come into our world. The Beast in Me, Claire Danes.
Best, terrifying. Another friend of the pod, Sarah Foer, she said she was actually too scared to watch it. And I was like, I totally get it. Like, I think she did push on and finish watching, but it's pretty scary.
It is pretty scary. And I've got to say, Claire Danes, bloody amazing.
Let me join. Yeah, that's how you act.
That's how you do it.
That's how you
Kim
do
Kardashian.
it. Kim, sit down with a bowl of popcorn, throw the law books out the window, and watch.
Get your notes. Get your notebook out. She was a star. I loved watching her expressions. I loved watching her face. I loved watching how she. She tore through that bloody performance like a beast, mate, like the Beast.
Yeah, she was incredible. No, I totally agree. I was incredible. Brilliant.
We are not worthy. Meghan, Christmas special. Any last
have you watched
fitting? Have you seen it? Oh, you've seen it.
I've seen it.
About it, haven't we?
Yeah, I've seen it.
How could we not?
How could you not? I've watched it twice actually. So Harry makes an appearance.
I quite liked the the wrapping of the teddy bear.
Oh, that was cute in the
roll.
cracker. The cracker.
I quite like that.
I can see you doing that actually. That's a
Yeah,
very
no, I
you
quite
thing
like
to do.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll
Yeah,
play
but
that.
she pulled out the Japanese process of wrapping a wine bottle in a
Yeah.
in material again. She's like, this is a
Yeah, no, I
Japanese
feel
tradition. I'm like, you've told
like
us
we've
that in
done
the
that
last 2 seasons, Meghan.
we've done that before, haven't we? Well, you know what? I feel like that's curtain closed on Meghan, because that is the last deal that she has with Netflix, and I don't think we're going to be seeing much more of her on Netflix unless there's more.
Unless she does a Bonnie Blue. Now
Unless she
that
does a Bonnie
would be-
Blue, or she breaks up with Harry and does an expose.
Yeah, that could be on the horizon for sure. Or if there's a
Well,
divorce, imagine their divorce. That's going to be
Well,
massive.
that's what I mean. A breakup is a divorce,
Oh,
isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, that's sorry. I thought, yeah, totally. Yes.
Yes. Well, then, of course, Netflix will come back, of course, and I'll be watching. You'll be watching. We'll all be watching. Anyway, I feel like that's it. What's that counter on? The old 40 minutes. I think we've done great.
Yes. Good work for us.
For our first Twilight session.
I like it.
I love it too. I feel like we're far more relaxed right now, without the coffee in our system buzzing us up. All right. Well, until next time, guys. Any parting words, Joni?
No, but have a love. No, I won't say Merry Christmas yet because we'll come back.
Yeah, we'll come back. We'll see you before Chrissy. All right. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Och, that's enough moaning for today, lasses. See you next week.